evening, everybody. Dad Man Walking 55 here, coming to you from the East Coast at 16 after 9. Very impromptu stream today. Originally was going to be sports based. Well, we are going to hit some sports in here at different points, but hey, it's a chance to get back on a Tuesday night stream with a good old friend who has not been lost on planet X5 or whatever Khan's planet is, whatever the hell that place is called, Romulus 5 or whatever it is. But hey, you guys know it's the movie that's not just me anymore, because this guy showed his face just because I said that one comment on New Year's Eve one night. It's the great JT Kirk. Hey, JT.
Hail. Happy New Year. I think I'm just joking. I don't think that was the last time I was on your channel, but boy, it feels like a minute.
It's June already.
So.
It's June already. It's been.
I know. I was shoveling my my driveway, I think, the last time I was on your channel, and now it's like lawn mowing season. So, cool.
I've only mowed once last weekend. I managed to. Actually, I had somebody come by and do it for free.
Doesn't that Florida grass grow like super slow?
Well, no, it grows really fast when we have rain, but we've not had a lot of rain lately, so that helps. But no, I and we'll talk more about what's happened and everything else. Let's go ahead and say hi to the people in the chat real quick.
Sure.
Because Legatus is here. Hello, Legatus. Good to see you.
Hey.
JT's here. Sci-Fi Mommy. Hey, that's a name that's great to see again. Good
Presence
to see you.
I have not felt since.
Great to see you, Sci-Fi Mommy. Always good. Hope you're doing well and stuff. Sports. We are going to touch on some sports at times tonight. But kind of what JT and I had important things that happened this afternoon that took away any planning time. And I tell you, it was much more important to do that than planning. And, JT's tired, and we're just kind of coming together to maybe hopefully reestablish, at some point going forward again with sports on Tuesday nights. We have plans about the football season coming up. But we'll talk more on that as time advances along the way. But we're talking, and like Sci-Fi says, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and share out the stream. Appreciate it. And the London Knights are the 2025 Memorial Cup champions.
Okay.
What sport is that? Is that a soccer or is that American football? And all I know is there's so many damn soccer leagues in the UK. It's bad enough in Europe, Spain and Germany with all their leagues, but I know that. I think that's London, Ontario. If memory has served me right, that's Ontario. Could be. I got it from Canada.
Yeah.
Which I guess what we in the NHL.
Hockey. It's hockey.
Yeah. Okay. Well, in the NHL, what do we got? The Panthers and the Oilers. Screw Florida. Hockey does not belong in Florida. Like Darth Maul does not belong in Star Wars anymore. Friggin' Florida should not have hockey. Go Oilers. Go Canada. I'm for Canada on this one.
Well, and Edmonton's just lucky that Houston got rid of the Oilers long ago, so that way they can be the uncontested Oilers.
Yeah. Yep. The good old Tennessee Titans now. So great to see you too. Yes. Yeah, go Oilers, go. I agree, guys. I don't know if they're up in your province or not, but hey, but the London Knights, are they Canada?
London, Ontario. So you have that arm that kind of swings down and touches Detroit right there across the Detroit River.
Up there, Michigan and Wisconsin and Canada. Y'all got some of the funkiest geography around.
Oh yeah.
Just
but like the southernmost part of Canada right there around Detroit and all that, you have Windsor, which is right on the border. And a lot of folks in Windsor actually work in the U.S. in Metro Detroit and drive across the border every day to do so. And
make sure you have your visa properly.
Oh, yeah. I mean, there's faster ways, but yeah, it can take a bit. The new bridge, the Gordie Howe International Bridge, by the way, is going to be opening this month.
Oh,
which
wow.
is a huge improvement in access between the two countries. And Gordie Howe was Canadian, played in the U.S., so in Michigan. So perfect person to pick for that.
Yeah.
But yeah, London is,
yeah, Canadian Hockey
maybe
League,
a half hour east of Windsor, something like that. maybe I'm off by 15 minutes, but it's close enough that I could go there and watch a game if I wanted to.
We'll see. Legatus explains it here. The Canadian Hockey League, consisting of WHL, OHL, and something else league, where Gap, you snuck in there. Damn it, jump. What's up, Peanuts? It's not about peanuts. It's league where NHL drafts a lot of its players from. But good to see you, Gap After Dark. Hope you're doing well tonight. And hello to you, back to you.
Or the southern name for peanuts, Goober Peas.
There's a Civil War song, Goober Peas.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite songs.
Oh, really?
We actually play it in that time period band that I play in.
Oh gosh, I love that song. That's really interesting.
We'll sing the verse too sometimes.
I love the Civil War era music.
Oh yeah. It's pure Americana to the point that it's really a shame that we lost that style of music. But the thing that really killed it was like basically radio and early music players started to kill that off. But radio killed it off in a big way. People don't realize back in the Civil War, and even for decades later, the loudest thing in your town, if the train did not roll through, was the band. The band would compete with your church bell.
Yep.
Because your church probably only had one bell.
Nothing like live music.
Yeah.
No, I tell you, and that's what's the whole thing is, like, so much good music in that time. Bonnie Blue Flag. Unfortunately, songs get demonized and stuff, because like Mississippi Squirrel Revival, that good old Ray Stevens song, there's one of the karaoke versions where they take out the few bars of Dixie in it. I'm like, come on, I'm just like, please stop. So Gap asked, Dad, man, are you going to talk about peanuts and porta potties in the relationship? No, but you give me a good idea for our streams tomorrow night, our squirrel stream tomorrow night. So join us at 10
I'm totally out of the loop on this. But I do love salted peanuts, honey roasted, even some spicy peanuts. But please shell them first. I just no. Shelling them slows me down too much.
Well, ring my bell, ding-a-ling, ding-a-ling. Yeah, that's true. There is a karaoke song with that too. But hey, I was about to go into the hockey, but JT,
sure. One
of the things you may have missed too is I don't know. Get this here. I don't know. Like I said, how the late night show has now morphed into this, from fruitcakes to porta potties.
I see.
Yes,
well,
exactly.
I was there for your inaugural fruitcake stream.
Yeah.
And
you know what,
and folks, I'm like 18 hours, 20 hours up right now. So if I'm slurring my words, it's not the booze. It's just I'm tired. I'm drinking some coffee. So
my goal is to have you fall. My goal is to have you fall asleep on the stream.
Well, we should get a game of Fortnite going.
That'll put me to sleep, definitely. But you know how this happened, JT? I loved it. And Gap, be there tomorrow night. Remind me about peanuts and porta potties, because we will fight. We will play around with Grok on Wednesday nights. We love playing around on Grok. We have gotten some weird ass things with it. But
I asked a lot of questions of Grok about Admiral Teague recently, and it had some interesting revelations I won't go into here, but you can have some good fun with it. For sure.
Oh, I have no clue. How. I'll leave that to the professionals.
Oh, it hallucinated. It was like Admiral Teague, a Wyoming native, and I'm like, dude lives in Queens. He talks on every stream about how he's a New Yorker or lives in Queens, and Grok is like, yes, Wyoming native.
Hello, citrus. I love this. I love the way lemon pie always comes on high fruit cakes, and the OOT. I love that so much. You're doing good. Moving forward. Absolutely. Don't go back. Never retreat. But yeah, we somehow we got on fruitcake. Oh, it was National Fruitcake Day one time, and we spent an hour and a half. West and I think it was just the two of us. With the chat, we spent an hour and a half just talking about friggin' fruitcakes. I mean, jokes about it, memes about it. I mean, how the hell do you spend an hour and a half? Oh yeah, Sci-Fi Mommy. He's in New Yorker. What? New York City. It's like
they'd hail Admiral Teague if you're out there. Yeah.
It's like how do you spend an hour and a half on fruitcakes? And it was just natural. And then the very next damn stream, we on porta potties. That's it. And then Mrs. makes it, puts my little DMW 55 stop and go with my little face on the thing. Then do you know what happened a few weeks ago? We had road construction right in front of the house, and they put a damn porta potty in our front yard.
Oh yeah, you told me that, and I was like, well, better than them asking to knock on your door and ask you to use the powder room.
They moved it from out by the street on a little grass strip up onto the sidewalk at one point. So hell, I took a piss in it one night. Why not?
But
it was flowery. I was like, Mrs., you could go use it. It smelled so flowery. It was the cleanest, nicest smelling porta potty I've ever smelled.
You must have been the first one to use it.
Maybe, because it didn't look like it was very well used.
So this is a tale that may not have ever happened, so it's all allegedly. But in my college days...
Speaking of that, Fallout Dave, sorry, JT. Yes, I missed my porta potty tonight. All right, back to you in college.
I used to work at a bar for money in college, right? Got to pay for textbooks and the like. Yeah. So I'd get home at 4 a.m, 5 a.m, and my classes usually wouldn't start till 10:30, 11. I just scheduled them that way, so that way I could get some sleep, right? And they were doing construction next to the apartment, and allegedly, this is all it may have never happened. I'm not admitting to anything. They would idle the cement mixer or some other heavy machinery, and I was on the second floor, so that that cement mixer engine would be like idling right by my window. And there was a city ordinance, you weren't allowed to start construction in a residential area until 8 a.m. and they'd be out there at 6:45 in the morning. Well, the city is super corrupt, and like their family was the one doing some of this work, so they didn't give a crap about enforcement. They would give you a $50 ticket if you were 20 seconds past your meter, but helping real people out, they didn't care. So maybe, just maybe, there was a small get together of maybe 40 or 50 of my closest friends, and they heard what was going on. And this building next door to us had a basement with an elevator shaft, and it was still being constructed with no elevator in it yet. And I did not do this. I did not. This was totally a mystery, alleged, Lord of the Rings type stuff. Some of the other people in the group may have gotten like 6 of them together and lifted up the porta-john and strategically relocated it in the elevator shaft in the basement.
Wow.
And yeah. There was no more idling after that at 6:45 in the morning.
Nope. It resolves itself.
Weird.
Yes, weird. That's exactly how that happened.
So that was a great tale.
Yep. I do see that there are porta potty songs. I have to look more of them up. I found one in specific. So, but yeah, Lemon Pie loves that.
Allegedly. It was a story about Billy Joe and Bobby Sue. Yeah. So
Billy Joe. Oh my God, that sounds almost like a friggin' John Cougar Mellencamp song.
Well, yeah, that's exactly what it is.
Well, I'm going to show something real quick.
Anyway.
Because Gap After Dark asked about peanuts.
Yes.
Let's see.
And this is not a nut-free show, so hopefully you're not so allergic that the internet will.
Well, what is disappointing about grok on this one is that, and everybody don't flood me with groks. That's our Wednesday night thing and Friday night thing, but I just felt the need to do it real quick. But this is, I did peanuts, unicorns, and porta potties, and I came up with this. It's like, where's the peanuts?
I love how they had to label it porta potty.
Porter potty, actually. Porter potty. So, but yeah, we got the unicorns. We got the porter potty. We just don't have a. I
don't see them like growing or any like it wasn't like you were in a peanut field.
No, I know. That's what I was hoping for. This one's not much better.
No, you couldn't get any peanut oil, but there were a lot of sunflowers in that field. You could have gotten some sunflower oil, possibly.
Well, this one ain't even unicorns. This is like horses by dressed up porta potty.
Yeah, where's the corn?
You know what we found is we starting to get 3-horned unicorns at times.
Yeah.
Or we can have some where the missus is showing a picture of the missus and she's got a horn sprouting out of her head.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The horses also have very bad perspective in there. They clearly don't look like they're in the field in the background.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Lemon Pie's right. Maybe it was a unicorn porta potty that actually smells nice. That would be quite the rare event.
Absolutely.
So is it unicorn because they only eat one variety of corn? Like I will only eat sweet corn type thing?
I don't think so. I think it's supposed to be because they only have one horn.
Then why don't you call them unihorns? Or are they uni?
That was the shortest return ever in YouTube history. Thank you, JT. Just kidding. No, that was a bad.
I never promised on my return that I would tell good jokes.
That was painfully good bad. It's like what we call Mrs. always calls McDonald's French fries nasty good.
Yeah.
Like they're nasty, they're not good for you, but damn it, you just want the grease sometime, you know? Right. By the way, do you have Steak and Shakes up there near you?
Yes, sir.
Have you been there since they've switched to the beef tallow?
Well, I mean, I went to them in high school. They probably had the beef tallow then.
No,
but I have not been back since they reverted. No.
Just because I'm curious. I don't ever remember eating beef tallow. Now I know McDonald's used to, and other places used to do it, but I'm like, I've got to go there one day and see what the difference is. So, oh God, the unicorn lobby doesn't want you asking questions.
It definitely is something that's going to smell different when you go into the restaurant.
Yeah, but Lemon Pie's letting you know that unicorn lobby doesn't want you asking questions like that.
Oh, it's 100% a conspiracy by the unicorn lobby.
You know, oh God,
that's big unicorn.
Oh, that's hilarious. Well, let's see. Let's get into
make me want rainbow cereal after talking about all those unicorns.
Well, I tell you, I can arrange unicorn ice cream. if you've got a Walmart up there, JT.
Yeah.
Just try the Great Value unicorn ice cream, sparkling ice cream. Your kids, if they can have ice cream, will love it. Okay.
Yeah,
the missus likes it too. She says it's actually good ice cream.
Is it just basically like Superman ice cream?
But it has purple crunchy chunks in it. It's hard to describe.
Okay.
There's like glittery streaks of purple that are also in it. It's not just like clown ice cream or circus ice cream.
Sure.
There's actually bits of stuff in it. So
okay. I just feel bad because we live so close to a Baskin Robbins, a Dairy Queen, a small little independent soft serve shop that makes absolutely delicious banana splits. And then we live next to, I won't say it because it'll give too much away, but there's a regional ice cream place that has like their standalone, like only one location restaurant and ice cream. And that place is always like out the door from May through October. And we just live close enough. I'm like, I want some amazing ice cream. I don't want to go to Walmart and pick up ice cream out of the freezer because you know what it is. By the time you get it home, your freezer's colder than what the ice cream is supposed to be. And then you always end up inevitably having to let it thaw. Yeah. And if you're impatient like me, you want your ice cream now, damn it. Not like
the best ice cream
on the counter for 10 minutes.
The best ice cream I've seen for that is Blue Bunny soft version. There's a Blue Bunny. Okay. There's also a Blue Bunny soft that is really, even in store freezers, comes out. It's so soft. It's gotten hard in our freezer, but it doesn't take it as long to thaw as others do. So
we also live,
Dave. Dave, they're not diced unicorn pieces. Stop that. Or they're not unicorn flakes. Gap saying there's an International Unicorn Association registry for unicorns, encouraging owners to register unicorns and participate in events and activities. So, go figure.
Yeah.
Yes, buying ice cream from Walmart can be done, though, Legatus. It can be. This one is a very niche type of ice cream. It's worth just trying because it's a unique type of ice cream. I wouldn't buy just plain chocolate and this, that, and the other there. No, I agree with that. But and it's dirt cheap. It's like under $3.
It just I never go to Walmart if unless it's like an emergency and I'm on the road or something. Because we have Meijer, which is similar to Walmart, but it's a Michigan-based company, and they're in like 10 states, something like that. Lisa knows what they are. And then we also have Bush's, which is a grocery store chain, which is pretty nice. But then we also have Full Paycheck, and we have Trader Joe's, and
we've got a few Trader Joe's.
Yeah, I mean, we just and then there's like a bunch of smaller ones, right? That are more like they're a decent sized grocery store, but there's only one of them in your city, and you go there for like the meat, or you go there for cheese, or the fresh vegetables, but they're going to be twice the price of Walmart,
right?
But
it
tastes 3 times better too, right?
We pay for quality, yeah, definitely.
Well, the thing that kills me is Florida's got its ranching and its oranges, but Michigan has been first, second, or third largest producer of anywhere between 12 and 20 fruits and vegetables, depending on the year. Right. And yet everything in the grocery store, if you go to Walmart and some of these other places, is from California or South America or Mexico. And it's like, yeah, but we grow it all here. Why am I getting corn from California when I can drive by cornfields for hours in every direction? Like it just is, and then it doesn't taste as fresh. It doesn't taste as good. It's like it probably tasted good when you picked it, but then you drove it all the way across the country. It just, yeah.
I agree. Lemon pie, pick an unusual flavor. I mean, I'm boring with chocolate, but it's okay. So
I love mint chocolate chip. So
oh my God.
That's what I go for.
Walmart, dude, the problem is that Walmart's got the best damn prices on groceries anywhere. And I'm willing to trust Walmart for food prices, but honestly, that if you don't trust Legatus, just try if you can have ice cream. Just buy some of the unicorn, rainbow sparkly unicorn ice cream for great value. Just give it a try. On my channel, I've got a video where I made an ice cream sandwich with unicorn waffles and unicorn ice cream. So
right,
but not necessarily. And I tell you, the big test with this ice cream specifically was the missus, because the missus like you're full of shit. And then she tried it. She said, "That's good ice cream."
Yeah.
She actually will eat it now.
I trust her.
Yeah. So, I mean, I don't blame you on not trusting me, but she says it's good. That's a different thing. Oh, Lemon Pie said coffee ice cream, peanut butter ice cream, something just a little different. Okay, folks, since we're on ice cream, what kind of flavors of ice cream, when you do have it, do you like?
We're doing.
No, my God, no. Oh, God, how is that possible? Oh.
So
quick, somebody call Lisa and tell her. Did they eat that up? And
tend to avoid peanut butter in my ice cream. I just think that it, consistency wise, and like, consistency wise, fat ratio, that kind of stuff. It doesn't really add much to your ice cream. In fact, I think it kind of can dry it out a little bit and make it hard to eat if you have too much, or it just gets too hard in the ice cream. My favorites when I go are usually something like a mint chocolate chip,
right?
A raspberry or strawberry cheesecake. I like the ones with cake batter in the cake. Or I'll also do something like a Black Forest type thing, like a really like chocolate in the ice cream, but it's not a chocolate ice cream.
That's really
type deep, of a thing. Yeah. So it'll still be pretty rich, but I like the more fruit flavored stuff. In fact, I'd go for French vanilla over chocolate as well. I just like it to be cool and refreshing over super mega chocolate overload. If that makes any sense.
I'm mega chocolate overload. I'll take chocolate.
I was gonna say you're
probably
the other way.
But I will say I do like a French vanilla ice cream over regular vanilla. Because vanilla just seems like it has no taste. At least the French vanilla, or if you get the bean vanilla, it actually has a taste. Not just you're just drinking, you're eating frozen milk. No,
right.
I'm still stuck on this thing.
But I'm just like, true vanilla is very expensive.
Yeah,
and you're kidding yourself if you think they're using the real deal Holyfield.
I'm sorry, I'm still stuck on this one, JT. Cheddar cheese ice cream. I'm not much of a fan of cheese anyway, but
I'm gonna have to say no to that because it's supposed to be a sweet treat.
Yeah,
not just cream cheese, basically.
Yeah, I'll get coffee, I'll get peanut butter even, but just cheddar cheese is such a. Sorry, that one's. Oh, from an Asian food store. Oh, interesting. I'll have the missus take a look because she likes to shop at those places, and maybe she can find some and we can try it. Ranch dressing ice cream. Oh, now I've heard of ranch dressing sodas though. Carbonated sodas.
Yeah, none of that stuff is. No. Have you ever had the Jones soda turkey? Like they had a pack years ago. That was like a gravy flavored soda, turkey flavored soda. I think they had a mashed potato or a sweet potato flavored soda in there. Yeah, it was supposed to be Thanksgiving dinner.
Wow.
Yeah. And Gap sorbet is good. I like, what is that? The Italian stuff as well. That stuff's pretty decent. The weird thing is, I don't feel, see, maybe it's weird, maybe it's not. I must get it in a cone.
Mm-hmm.
I don't feel like you're getting the real experience if you get it in a cup.
There you go. He doesn't recommend cheddar cheese ice cream. Yeah. I agree with you. I mean, when I like the big piles of it, I like a cup, but really the thing is a big, cone and stuff. Okay, we have ice cream. We have ice milk, which is something I don't think it exists anymore, but it was back around in the 70s. We have sherbet, which is the funky colored bright ice creams. Now sorbet is different. What is a sorbet?
Oh gosh, you're putting me on the spot.
Figgy! Hey, ya buddy! Hey, folks, everybody, if you're not subscribed to Figgy Plays, go.
Sorbet.
Please put Figgy's link out there. We're trying to get her to 200 subscribers right now. So she's at 171. I tell you what, you want positivity and laughter and just nonsense craziness? Figgy Plays. Dude, go watch her. So humble, so funny, and it's just a great thing.
So sorbet is basically frozen grape juice.
Really? What is that?
It's dairy free.
Okay.
So like fruit puree, fruit juice, and sugar.
Okay.
So
then what's gelato?
Gelato's Italian.
But is it made like regular ice cream? See, this is why I have the missus around to help educate me on stuff like this.
Gelato is usually a little bit lower in fat.
Okay.
And so it's a little bit more dense in texture. It'll be more milk and less cream.
Okay. No, so which affects the consistency and the taste, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, Dave likes Italian ice, which is cool. I've had some of those. So, okay. Gap says sorbet is a frozen dessert made from the fruit, sugar, water, no dairy ingredients, refreshing alternative to ice cream. Okay. Thank you. I got that. Okay. That makes sense. Whereas the gelato, I think, is more of an ice cream. But thank you for putting that out there, Gap. I appreciate that. Legatus, hey, there's the link to Figgy Plays. If you're not subscribed to her, please go do so. Hey, Figgy, you're so kind to the missus and me yourself. So what goes around comes around. Thank you. And you're here tonight. I know it's late for you, so thank you for being here too. Exactly. I learned everything good for the missus, everything bad, well, that's my fault. So, and lemon pie said gelato is less cream, more milk. Okay. And okay, cool, guys. Thank you so much. We're 30 minutes in and we haven't even talked about the NHL. JT, how about that?
Yeah, well, I was going to say the outgoing, well, number 46. We'll just say that their favorite was chocolate chip, which
I thought it was him.
find.
I thought he liked eating a vanilla ice cream cone. So, but anyway, that was just.
I mean, not like he really would remember, whatever corn pop would give him. So, but anyway, we'll get off of that. We'll get off of that. I could make some comments. I won't.
I know we're having fun. We got 10 people watching us and 1 left. But hey, everybody, feel free, hit that like button, share out the stream, subscribe. Yes, we are. For a lot of you that are new to the channel or maybe coming by accident tonight, because this is not a normal time for me to have been streaming for the last 6 months, JT, like we were talking about when we started talking, was just we have been doing sports every Tuesday through the fall, usually football primarily and things like this. Oh, you're still here. Yes, thank you. But we usually at the 10 o'clock, 9 o'clock, I do sports streams and stuff, and JT helped me late in the fall, and just life got busy. This is what I was going to say earlier. Between me with March Madness, visiting mom every Tuesday night, and just your work, my work, all kinds of crap has gotten in the way, and we're looking to reestablish our Tuesday night sports streams. Saturdays do work some, but we're crushed on time frame for it. But Tuesday nights, hopefully in the fall, hopefully we get started before the fall with more other sports. That's why we appreciate anybody that knows anything about European sports. Other things are not just football, baseball, basketball. But we do have big plans for college football coming up in the fall, but we'll talk more about that later. So this is tonight. We wanted to stream, get back together, kind of catch up. It's been months, as you said. And we're kind of just surveying all topics at this point right now.
Yeah, no, we've been chatting all the time. It's so it's not like we had a breakup or anything. It's
I know exactly.
My personal life, Dadman's personal life, and our existing streaming commitments made it so it was like, I don't think we're ever going to do this for a little while. And not for lack of trying either. It was like, one night I was asking you, then the other night you were asking me, and it just passed.
And then one night we're both asleep at 9 o'clock.
Yes.
Gab saying cricket, bowling. We could do stuff like that. I'm just maybe focus on the sport, how to play, not just the results and stuff. So, well, let's go ahead and talk a little bit of sports tonight. Where we got game 1 of the Stanley Cup starts tomorrow. This is how damn bad things are. None of us have a life, Dave. Go on a cruising, Gap, shuffleboard. So, but game 1 starts tomorrow night. The Florida Panthers, who should not even be around because hockey does not belong in friggin' Florida. So I am pro
They're only a
Canada, our home and native land. Go Edmonton. So
the only reason the Panthers are a team is because so many folks from Michigan and New York and New Jersey.
That's why Tampa Bay
retired down there.
Damn Tampa Bay.
Yeah.
New York City deserve a sports team. Friggin' Tampa Bay can't have people attend the damn baseball game. Plus, of course, they get a stadium that the roof blows off. Have you seen the god awful abysmal attendance in friggin' Miami?
No, I have not. For which team?
They were the Miami Marlins or Florida.
Oh no, I haven't.
How they are. There was one thing on Twitter the other day. The tens of people in the crowd.
No way.
No, yeah way. It's we're gonna get back to hockey, but this is kind of the way I do things. Is when it comes up, I've got to get on
Sports
it. Right
yeah, I saw one on Sports Illustrated.
No, it's like
I've seen more at a single A baseball game.
I'm going to pull up a friggin' attendance. I'm pulling up June 2nd's Monday night game with the Miami. I agree. I agree. We really, really aren't. But
Oh, they played the Rockies. That's why.
Yes, exactly. But hey, no, this is, let's see, they got to have the attendance. 5,894. We double that shit here.
And that's probably counting the concessions.
Yeah.
Too, and the concessions workers in that number.
All that, because what happened when everybody insisted you had to bring in the Florida Marlins and the Colorado Rockies. Got to have baseball in Florida. Everybody loves baseball and shit. But it
doesn't even help, Dad, man, that they already have the third smallest MLB park with a max seating of 37,000.
Dude,
so it's not like this is not Comerica Park or Yankee Stadium.
They used to play north on the county line where pro player Joe Robbie, where the Dolphins play, which was outside of the city, a place where it had a lot of traffic options and stuff to come in. They had to insist on building a new stadium on the side of the old Orange Bowl and put baseball in downtown Miami. And look what happens. Nobody wants to go to downtown Miami. Have you ever driven in south of friggin' Fort Myers? I mean,
it's been a long time. Time.
God, I went down to Hollywood 5 years ago, taking my kid for a college tour. And no, never again. Never again.
Well, Miami's going to sink into the ocean soon anyway. So it's like, come on.
I mean, it's like Lone Depot Park, 5,894 fans in that game. And
I mean,
I'm just I'm stunned.
I'm probably going to a AA baseball game in a couple weeks. And we're going to have more than 5,000 people. We're going to have more than 5,000 people.
I bet I pay more to park in my AAA stadium than they pay to park down there. And jeez. Well, let's look at the Sunday game.
Awful. This is awful. I mean, this is like, I don't even know what you do. How do you get JT?
Because people go on the weekends. On Sunday, they had 13,422.
And yet the taxpayer probably had to build them this gigantic $1 billion stadium.
Some people are, some people aren't. I think up north they're more hockey. I just can't accept Florida and hockey. It's wrong. It's too hot here. But
I'm thinking we're talking about the Marlins.
When I mentioned hockey, I was like, Florida. I'm jumping all over the place, JT. I know you're tired, but I'm waking up. I'm actually doing pretty good tonight. So, yeah, Jay, Faladay, be honest. You're just cheap. You won't pay for any of it, right?
Well, out of all the sport in Detroit, especially now that the Lions won and the ticket prices like literally tripled from people I know that have season tickets. Baseball is the best value by far.
By the way, JT, what are you looking at? Is there a link you can put out there?
The actual picture, I'll put it in the private chat here.
Yeah, this was for Monday's game with 5,800 people, right?
Yeah.
I mean, this is horrible, folks. This is like. Oh, did you put it in the private chat or the regular chat? You can put it in the regular chat.
I put it in private.
Oh, okay. Let me give me a second. Let me try to figure out how to open it and get it up. Yes, show me stuff. Okay. All right.
So careful, that can turn into a 3-hour enabling stream if you're not careful.
I am not going to repeat what she said on stream yesterday or today. I'm not. There are limits to what. Damn it, Jim. There's a limit to what one man can do. Damn it, Jim. I'm a doctor, not a. Oh yeah, I'll get on it right away. So I'm going to let me see about bringing this back up. Here we go. All right, let's see. I gotta shift the screen. Yeah,
this is an entirely indoor stadium, right?
My God, they don't have to deal with the Florida heat.
Yeah, I mean, so this would be like.
Listen, I'm sorry, JT. I am humped up. I'm pumped up after this tonight. Okay.
I mean, if you were homeless in Miami and you begged for $10, you could get a ticket and just sit in the air conditioning.
See, like Gap said,
who's going to bother you? They're so desperate.
Gap said, "Don't like crowds. I don't want to fight damn man for the party." This is my type of game because there is no damn crowd. This is no damn crowd. Let me get the screen to share. You're going to love this. This is a game I would love to go see.
Hail to Phantom Outsider.
Just hey, Phantom Outsider. Good to see you tonight. Hope you're doing well. This is how JT, this is how 3 and 4 hour streams start,
Well, I lived in Cleveland for a year, and I can tell you, Cleveland loves the Indians. Even though it's a small market team, they love them.
Yeah.
So at least that's what they were called when I lived there. So.
All right, folks. Here, I'm trying to blow the picture up big. I'll get to Phantom and everybody in a second. Folks, that is the stadium right there. Look at that.
I'm surprised they even had the outfield open. They're like, no, they should have said, no, we don't want to clean it.
Well, that's what they do here now. They won't open the freaking upper deck because the third year of the ACC championship game, my friend and my kid and I, we bought the upper deck. We got up there. They're like, would you like to pay $10 to go down to the prime seating down below? We're like, we got our own private concession stand. We got our own private heads here. It's like, screw you. We're not paying to go down. We got it made. We got all the concessions, no lines in the bathroom. We got it made up here. And we were like 3 of 20 people maybe in the upper deck. But that's what a lot of stadiums are doing now. They're roping it off and charging you more because but yeah, that is abysmal. 5894 attendance.
I mean,
and they did
maybe
much
they
better
sold
on
more
the county
tickets.
Line.
I'm sure, they obviously sold more tickets than the people that showed up.
Yeah, that's not 6,000 people.
You're telling me that if they sold the 3 sections right down there behind home plate, 3 or 4 sections, you can see those things are like 10% full, if I'm being generous.
Yeah.
You're telling me that you didn't even sell out those?
Well, give me time,
that's where all the action is. If you want to watch the game, that's where all the action is. Yeah, you could probably count them up.
See, I want that. I want to be out here for the home run ball. I mean, you don't have to fight anybody for a home run ball or out here with a foul ball.
I like to hear the UMPL. I like to hear, that
dude, you can hear the umpire if you're sitting under the Lone Depot sign in a stadium this empty.
With 6,000, sure.
Yeah, sorry, JT.
Sure, but the other thing is they crank up the music and the sound systems in there, because if you were to have 40,000 people, the human body, when you multiply it that many times, absorbs a ton of sound, which is why they turn the sound up so high. I bet if you sit in there, it is just way too loud for your ears. The sound's bouncing off all the chairs. It's probably miserable sitting in there, just, painful. Yeah. So, how much money would you lose as a team having that game? I would think it would be cheaper to just not have the game, not sell any tickets, not have to pay the players, and just pay the staff.
Yep. I don't see how they can stay in business like that. I just but yes, show you stuff. Yes. Somebody wasn't me a girl. Yeah, wait, hey, yeah, not sure you say that, Dad, man. Yeah, get her on with us on a late night stream one night. It could be fun.
So where would you move the Marlins? I would move them to Mexico City. I would. Toledo. But they have the Mud Hens.
Yeah. By the way,
Hens are a serious baseball club too.
Oh yeah, probably better serious. I mean, our AAA in town support is a feeder to the Marlins, but it's like they draw crazy. I won't go to the games because I'm tired of the damn yuppies that go and stand around with their beer and alcohol, wine sippers that stand around artsy fartsy instead of watching the damn game. Let the kids run around and all that shit. We raise our kids to sit and watch the games and stuff. And now it's like legalized loitering in the stadium. Like, can't get through the decks. Just damn, I'm an old grump, aren't I? And hello, Phantom Outsider. Great to see you. Miami is what Cleveland was during the Major League, an NPC club, which is a placeholder for other competing clubs. Yeah. But I am going to come back to something Legata said a moment ago. We will get to hockey eventually too. Sorry.
We will.
They probably did sell them out to companies, buy tickets, sometimes use them. But you would expect they'd sell 20,000 or 10,000. But only 5,800. So See, here's the thing. TV streaming. This is what makes me mad. I'm a Cubs fan. They're doing great this year, but I'm subject to the mercy of if they're on MLB or ESPN. But once again, you gotta pay for cable or for the expanded sports packages to get any access.
And I'm not going to do that. I mean, my grandfather used to watch the Tigers every day the last probably decade of his life because they were on the basic cable or basic satellite package. I'm not buying an add-on just to,
Nope.
I'm busy enough. I don't have time during the day to do nothing. Sit around and watch baseball, and I'm not going to pay for an extra package for it. Sorry.
I tell you, one of the good things though was, baseball. Like I said, it is a big complaint with a lot of people. Baseball is one of the most boring things to watch. No wonder beer sales are high. You got to be drunk to watch. No, I tell you what I like doing on Sunday afternoons, coming home from church as a teenager and laying on the couch, getting Harry Carey turned on and the 2:20 Cubs game, and I just lay on the couch and then I'd pass out. Just, I mean, you take a nap, then you wake up and the game's still going, not over, I
mean, it depends. It really depends. Yeah, there are a lot of games that are super boring because you can tell that when they go to bat, they don't really care. The fielders care just enough so they can get off the field and back into the dugout again and sit there. I've definitely been to MLB games like that, but there's also other baseball games where you go and the teams hate each other and they'll play for real. Or you watch. You were watching college baseball the other day, weren't you, Dad? Man?
Yes.
And you got into the game, and I'm like, there was some passion to be had. Sometimes it might take, if you feel that way about the MLB, it might take you going to a high school baseball game, or something like that, where I don't want to say the stakes are any higher. But the passion's definitely higher because they don't want to lose.
Also, the women's college softball that has been some damn good action. I actually prefer watching the women's college softball compared to men's college baseball. It's faster paced. They play lights out. It's not the old days where all they did was bunt and walk. They play their asses off, and watching Oklahoma get deprived of their 5th straight national title by Texas Tech, who had the most dominant pitcher except for one pitch that allowed the game to tie, but then they ended up winning. It's just incredible. And like I said, I got a stake in the dog. Oregon State Beavers are still alive in the College World Series, but they have 16 ranked teams. Only 9 of them are left. They've had so many upsets in the first 2 rounds. It's been insane. It's kind of like March Madness, and that's one of the other things. But see, here's the problem though, God, is you need 162 games in the old Major League Baseball. When you had two leagues separate, but never playing, when you had that, you didn't have inbreeding play. The only way an American National League ever met was in the World Series. That's the way it should be. Then they started chipping at that. They blurred, with these divisions, instead of just having the American League and Southern and National League and in 2 divisions. Then they started adding these other divisions. And then we got wild card and all this other. So all this stuff is added to make, why is 162 game necessary anymore? Because everybody's playing everybody so damn much. In the old days, you played, I remember like with the Cubs, it was so good things. When I really looked forward to was when the Cubs went on a West Coast trip, and on Friday, Saturday night, I had that 10 o'clock baseball game. That was special. That was something.
Many games. I mean,
but you only had one West Coast road trip also. Nowadays, everybody's playing everybody so many times during the year, it just doesn't matter.
Right. The other part of that, too, is you have to think that baseball was around before basketball, hockey, football. They were the original sport to do that, so they could command a long season. Now you have college professional football for decades, right? Which is why baseball's slowly been declining in prominence. You had the NHL for decades, who created the NBA so they could show things in the off season for that, right? But now NHL and in the NBA both go almost to the 4th of July. you sit here and you think there's so much more to attract your eyeballs these days. That why do you have that many games? Why do you really need to start like Easter and go all the way to Halloween?
Yeah,
It just
I'm trying to
it's one
find
of those
some.
things that brings a draw to the NFL, and why I don't think going up to 17 or 18 or 20 games is good for the sport. Besides player health, is just that you need these games to actually mean something. And when you lengthen your season, every time you lengthen it, there's a formula, something X plus Y minus 4AC over, something.
Yeah.
You care a little bit less about each game.
Well, getting back to what we talked about ice cream earlier, this is a curse. This is from Grok from a while back. We got a rainbow unicorn and ice cream.
All it's missing are all the ants on the ice cream.
I know, but hey, there you go for everybody. I'm trying to find something. I'm going to have to I got pictures, but I think I'm just going to have to go with an internet search though real quick. But have you ever heard of the Savannah Bananas?
Yes, you sent me a link to their game.
Okay,
one
time.
We watched it. Yeah,
it's like that's the. I mean,
it's almost turned near basketball.
Look at that sherbet night ice cream. Okay, but it's really it's like basketball, but it's like
or the Harlem Globetrotters.
Yeah, it's baseball. Like see, like here, there's. I had other pictures that are really better than this that were live. I mean, because they showed them on ESPN. If you ever get a chance to see them, you really should watch them because it's interesting to see. Like this one player here is on stilts, and you got Higgins, Daniel, Swag. You got all the people with different kind of names and stuff like that. Then they play guys called the Party Animals that, oh my gosh, one guy with a cowboy hat and the tight shorts. Boy, the ladies would love that one. I mean, but it was all this showmanship like WWE, all this other stuff. But when they played baseball, they were playing friggin' hard. They were jacking the ball out of the park. They were they were doing backflips to catch the ball, everything else. So, yes, the Globetrotters are baseball. But unlike baseball where, the Generals always get beat, but sometimes they'll win, these teams are playing tough against them. There really is it is really a competition between two different teams out there. And if you ever get a chance to go see them in person, they do a national tour, do so. I mean, talk about crowds. That might be the only way that Miami can fill up its baseball park.
Oh man, that would be a disgrace.
And it's like, I mean, they do all kinds of silly stuff with this. Let's see.
But you have to believe that they're sitting there like thinking
here's one where they're doing a chorus line, everybody doing a kick line out here on the bases. This is the type of stuff that they do. It's about the entertainment, and they go specifically to 2 hours. Because they said when they were on ESPN, they were talking about their product is based on a 2-hour time frame. Now, it's interesting. They're scoring the most. You win by getting points per inning, but the team that gets the most runs in an inning wins the inning. So it's not total runs in a game. It's really interesting, different concept that makes it fun. Yet they're still playing as hard as they can. So. Agreed, Legatus. Those are not Olympic sports. Exactly. Plus, they have dance routines. They had the Dolly Parton race from the outfield wall.
Real quick, would you mind explaining why those are not Olympic sports?
Because they're from America.
I mean, I don't care if we pick up that many extra gold medals all the time.
Yeah. I agree. I mean, Olympic sports should be different. I mean, not just standard crap like that. So, but it's let me see. Let me get a picture of the Party Animals. So they call it banana ball, actually. And that's really, really interesting to see what they do. Let me see if I can get an image from the Party Animals, because especially if Figgy's out there, she'll like some of the pictures of this one. Or we have any other ladies? Let's see. Because dude, this one guy with the, I mean, look, I saw Henry Cavill with abs, so I understood what the lady said. But this one dude with his short shorts and cowboy hat, like, damn, dude. So
no comment.
No comment. I know, dude.
Yeah.
I know. I don't play. Here he is, actually. Here he is. Let's see if I can get the picture up larger. Let's see. God, why do they do this crap? It's like, all right, let me go back to this one here. All right, you're going to have to, let me see if I can make it larger there. There we go. Here he goes. All right, this guy with the cowboy hat, all I know is at least it's a side view. Those are some damn short shorts and a cowboy hat.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, I tell you what, if you ever get a chance, I next time they come to town, I'll have to go see them. Of course, there's going to be insane amount of people, which is ridiculous. But, you know, it's actually, they put some of their games in football stadiums. Did you know that?
Yes. Yes.
I knew it. Fallout Dave. Yep. I tell you, she's going to be great for a late night show one day. I'm not usually attracted to conventionally handsome people, but dude, it's so funny what they do. They put them in. They played, I think, in 2 football stadiums. I think they played in Denver, and they just played in Tennessee, in Nashville, in the Titans Stadium. And they modified.
But you have to wonder if this is more entertaining than the regular sport. You've basically parodied your own sport, and is it really worth surviving at that point?
It is if you're looking for a night out with the family.
Yeah.
If you're looking out for an entertainment value, it is. I watched it. The only problem I would have is going out to the big crowds, but it is. But you know what? I'll be honest. It made it feel like baseball. Because they just got out there, they pitched and they swung. They didn't sit there trying to, well, let's bunt and sacrifice. Let's friggin' walk all day. I mean, they were going to friggin' play baseball.
Right.
Which, you know, I know modern baseball. I know the strategy and all, but this was a breath of fresh air because what baseball has become has been boring, stoic, very slow. And it was nice to see the game played where people just where they're going out there, they're playing their asses off. But they're not just sitting there to take walks and all. They're out there to go friggin' hit the ball and play the game, you know.
Right.
Watching them do the somersault catches in the air and things like that. So that's what I found. It was really, really amazing. Why I didn't think I would like it. I'll be honest. I thought it would be a travesty. But I'm like, this was fun. This was actually fun. Wait. The yellow team, the dancers. Oh, hey, Stunning. Oi, good to see you. How are you tonight? This is a picture for the party animals, the banana ball.
Yes.
Oh, the guy on stilts. That's the Savannah Bananas. The guy in the, let's see, go back to that. Let's see here. We'll go back to.
See, Legatus, you could have an Olympic sport of baseball. Because the players from, you know, a lot of Central and South American teams, they don't need to have a league in their own country to form an Olympic team. Like the NBA, yeah, the U.S. dominates it, but there's other countries now that actually give real competition. Mm-hmm. You'll get Germany, Czech Republic. There's other European teams, and China's in there too usually. You could get them to form an Olympic team without having a local league to do that. It is possible.
You know what? I'm going to have to do a stream. One of the squirrel streams, I'm going to have to show the pictures that I got off of the broadcast that one night because I can't show the video, but they actually had the Dolly Parton races video from the outfield with a bunch of guys, you know, with the fake balloons and the high heels and stuff. Yep. But they also had these banana guy cheerleaders that did their own dance routine. It was hilarious.
Yeah, I saw that too. I think you showed me that.
Yep. And here's another one with the stilt guy. It's Just very interesting. And see, they play small places, big places. It's interesting to see how they did in the big football stadiums, though. It really was. It was interesting to see how they changed the field and moved it around. So, Stunning says, if India made a baseball team, do you think they would be allowed to use cricket bats? Hey, why not? Why not? Oh, hey, come back when you can stay even later, Figgy. We'll get you way up past your normal bedtimes. But hey, thanks for coming in. And make sure y'all go check out her link that was back earlier. Make sure you subscribe to Figgy Plays and go say hi to her in the daytime when she streams and subscribe. Let's get her to 200 as soon as we can. Thank you, Figgy, for coming through tonight. Again, as we're here with JT Kirk again. What's the deal with these new bats, though? The torpedo
Did they
bats
already fall out of favor? Or are they even still
no,
using
they're still
them? I
going.
haven't heard anything.
They're still going, but it's like
it's supposed to shift the center of gravity and the balance on the bat to help you. I don't know, to help you hit better.
I don't know. It's like I think
you know who to ask about that is Mark D with the C.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, here's something. The guy on stilts. Here's one here that he. This is him pitching. I know it's something, isn't it? He's pitching. I don't see how anybody could do that. It's bad enough
I
around
don't either.
Like Disney and stuff and watching these guys on stilts. I'm just like, how the hell can you do that? You know? And,
right.
And in here, he bats too. I'm like, he bats too. I'm like, that's
oh, but his strike zone has to be like
dudes, yeah.
Yeah,
they are purposely setting it up. That's why a lot of times they get points also for doing like somersault catches and other special plays, or they hit the ball up in the air to the other person and all. You know, it's like I said, it is a show. It's like WWE and things like that. But, but I tell you what, I walked away after watching it was, in spite of all the comedy and stuff and all the unserious baseball, it felt more like baseball because you got guys up there just looking to hit the ball, not sitting there to take walks all day.
Right.
I mean, and they moved the game along. It had some interest and some pull. So you all know the batter's aiming for that dude's legs. Oh God. But yes, if you get a chance, that's the Savannah Bananas. But now, after an hour and 3 minutes, maybe we'll get to talk a little bit about what's coming up. We've got the Marlins. We talked ice cream. But tomorrow night, we've got the start of Game 1 of the NHL series between the Edmonton Oilers, who I'm going for, against the Florida Panthers.
Yep.
8 o'clock, puck drops. But why the frickin' hell is this game on TNT, True TV, and Max?
So that way no one will watch it.
I mean, why not ABC? Damn it. The Devils, when they did in the 2000s, it was on ABC. Weeknights, weekends. I mean, even as ESPN, if you're going to do it. Even
it's
ESPN.
Not like they have good sitcoms that are showing during the middle of the week.
Fox
what programming do they have?
I mean, it's like, come on. You guys on the big networks cover hockey all friggin' year on your Saturday shows. Why not friggin' show the playoffs, the Stanley Cups? I mean, this is not just like not everybody gets TNT either with its packages. And True TV is definitely an odd channel. You've got to expand your cable package to get those channels. I mean, it'd be easier to get the ESPN Sports package than the other two, but I don't know. It just still bugs me with, I mean, all of our championships are now going to ESPN. College football has, now college baseball and women's softball, they've been there forever. That's okay. But, I mean, I couldn't believe that friggin' the NCAAs, I mean, thank God it was on regular channel this year. I could actually watch it even when I was out of town.
Yeah, well, this is the same thing that happens every time I try to watch college football, is they like to dump it all off on these paid-for channels. So you end up having to either pay $300 a month for cable and still have to buy online streaming packages anyway, or you're buying like 6 different streaming packages just to watch your one team. And these athletic directors are dumb enough to think that they're going to make more money doing that. No, people are just going to check out.
Yeah. Yep.
So, putting it on those channels, I just, no.
Yep.
Not going to do it for me.
Nope. I know. I just realized we're an hour in. I don't think I even put out the stream yet.
I don't think we did.
I don't think I did. So let me do that real quick. And we've had a good turnout though, considering we didn't even advertise it. I did.
Look at us. Yeah, ESPN is owned by the Walt Disney Corporation. Yes.
Oh yeah. The mouse owns everything. So give me 1 second. Didn't mute it. So hey, I gotta like myself though. So folks, make sure you hit that like button if you don't mind. And yeah. Yep, I can't type and talk, so but it's all good. Thank you everybody's been here. We're just, like I said, we're kicking the cobwebs out with the two of us and catching up with some things. And we've got plans for more sports in the future. Hopefully things will work with it. Stays on Tuesday nights. We want to talk about different types of sports, even maybe some of the international sports, not just football. But in the fall, our primary focus will be on college football. Like I said, this year we have bigger plans. So we will talk more about that happens. So let's take a look at the comments. So you said ESPN, Disney owned, yes. Yep, exactly. But that's what's weird with this. ESPN has shown hockey. I get through a lot of hockey games through the ESPN Plus package and stuff, and then they just give it to TNT. It's like when the years that CBS gave up the NCAA finals to the friggin' TNT and TBS. Like, what are y'all doing? That's always been CBS's thing. It just
you see what Phantom was saying?
Yeah.
To watch the Yankees, you need Fox, ESPN, TBS, Amazon.
Yes, the
Apple
Yankees
TV,
network too.
Peacock, yeah.
Wow, that's crazy. Hey, Simply Steve. College football is the devil. Mama said. All right. Oliver Belmonte's here. Hello. Welcome. All right. Well, I'm going to come back to this. Give me a few minutes. I want to finish up on the NHL first. I will definitely like to pick JT's brain on that as we do. We got the Panthers and Oilers coming into Stanley Cup Finals. It looks like the Panthers may be favored in this series, but I'm still give me the Oilers. Why? Because Canada is hockey, not the United States. I'm a firm believer in that, and I will always feel that way. I don't know what you think. All right, good night, good night, Gap. Hope to see you tomorrow night at 10:00. We'll test that peanut theory in Grok. So, all right, but looking at the season. Florida Panthers were third in the Atlantic Division with 98 points, going 47-31-4. Looked like they're probably about the fifth seed overall, if you look at it in the East. And then Edmonton comes in at 48-29-5, 101 points. Also, about sixth in the Western. It's amazing how much better the Western conference was in terms of points. It was like you got a high Winnipeg at 116, Dallas at 106, Colorado at 102, Vegas at 110. Of course, that's a fraud team that was set up from day one to never fail. The Kings at 105 and Edmonton at 101. While you only had 3 teams over 100 in the Eastern. So you really got. It looks like on paper, probably the advantage should be to Florida.
Edmonton's favored in this game, and they're playing down south, so they're predicting Edmonton wins on the road for the first game.
Yeah, but because if it's geared up for Florida, let's see. Let me go back and double check. Let's see. Yeah, it's Panthers are at the Oilers. It looks like on the first game. So let me get the right screen. Yeah, Florida is at Edmonton tomorrow night. So yeah,
Okay,
Edmonton.
never mind.
Edmonton
I have
has
that
the home
backwards.
advantage. They had the best scoring. So yeah, it's you just hey, tickets as low as $436. Yay!
Yay!
So it's it looks like it's
Canadian,
Canadian.
or American?
You got to give Edmonton the advantage being at home. But I mean, the two teams look fairly balanced position wise in their respective conferences and the point totals, which should make for a fun matchup, though.
Right.
Yes.
No, they're not the only ones going into their finals either. NBA starting up this week too.
Oh, yeah. Oh, go Oily or go home. Hey, there are YouTubers that call games radio style. Some of them are far better than broadcasters. I agree with that. Yeah, exactly. Nosebleeds for prices. But see, I'll tell you what, I think sometimes, just people on YouTube, average people could sit here and do a better job announcing. I do. That's why I like talking games and stuff. I've actually had a time or two before with it playing in the background.
Oh yeah, I know. We've heard some real whoppers in our day.
Tom Brady, gotta have him as color. Joe Buck. I mean, all these guys, they're stuffed shirts, stuffed suits now. They don't. Gone are the Harry Careys. The gone are the Keith Jacksons. Oh, Nelly, Vin Scully. Vin Scully is a traditional as anything, but he could light up a room and not sound boring. Dick Enberg. All these great announcers that we have lost in recent years. Now we get all these, they gotta do it this way. We gotta, and then the fake excitement.
Right.
When they make a mountain out of a molehill. And you're like, settle down, Beavis. Oh God. So you're quoting Mary Steenburgen? Oh gosh. That's too good. But anyway, that is what we face tomorrow night with the hockey. What the hell has happened with the XFL, speaking of other sports?
Is it still a league?
For now. Let's see where the UFL sits. Because they're going into the playoffs, I think, this week. Yes. They did formally approve their collective bargaining agreement. But, of course, there are 8 pitiful teams. Let's see what they have coming up with this. They just completed the regular season, 10 games. Birmingham and Michigan will go to the playoffs, so Michigan will be at Birmingham. And in the XFL side, DC will be at St. Louis Battlehawks, which the championship game will be held in St. Louis no matter what. So watch DC to beat St. Louis, and our friend Whoopa Troopa might be in trouble.
Yeah. It's just that league. I didn't watch it at all this year for lack of time. But one big thing that I did not like was the small nature of the league and how many teams they have to play each other. And so, I mean, it really, by the time you get to these playoffs, I don't know. Do you really want to see them play a fourth time? I kind of don't. And they should have expanded to more cities, more locations.
Mm-hmm.
I know they probably didn't want to expand too quickly, but at this point, you're not a national league. Is what they have multiple teams in one state, right? Mm-hmm. I'm trying to think.
Well, part of the problem is, to me, is that the football got boring. It sounded good, but if you watch them, they're either just running or they're throwing 2-yard passes. I mean, everything is like read option and short passes. There's like very little down the field type of action and stuff. And that's what you get in the NFL and college, a lot more downfield production. And you can definitely tell the lack of quality in this. And it really brings, because I've liked watching it off and on the last 2 years, but this year I just I couldn't get into it. Even when I tried, I mean, it was like background, like when you're watching a YouTube stream and you just got it back in the background and you don't even know what the hell's going on. So, see, the best minor league vote I thought was the original USFL back in the 80s. because there was a market for that. There was passion. I mean, in Jacksonville, the Bulls filled up that stadium all the time. There were markets that really wanted football in the spring that were left out by the NFL. Unfortunately, you had the Washington Federals and other cities that didn't support their teams either. But it was, I think that a possible thing could happen. I mean, I don't know if it's Legatus or somebody once talked about the World League of American Football that was actually good, the European version over there that was out there for a few years.
Oh yeah.
And that apparently there were Europeans that actually enjoyed, and I can't remember who exactly said it in the chat recently, but they spoke fondly. They enjoyed the days of the World League of American Football. So this is how bad it is. ESPN just has the UFL standings, but it won't even tell me who's playing, where the games are this week, or what time they are. So it looks like it's Michigan will be at Birmingham, and then DC will be at St. Louis at whatever
Birmingham wins. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but it's unless the league adds new teams or expands some way, because remember, this is a combination of two leagues. The XFL came back, then the USFL came back, then after one USFL year, they merged into this league. So,
yeah, they consolidated, but then they never expanded.
Nope, exactly. Well, the Battlehawks started 2-2 though. They won 6 in a row though. Yeah, LA Galaxy. Yep. All right. So let's see what the UFL. We got that. So NBA.
If anybody likes NBA.
I don't care about the NBA. The one sport I do not care about the pros is the NBA. Has always been the NBA. I've always been a heavily college basketball fan. The only time I followed the NBA at times was to follow a certain couple of college players, a couple of the former Gators back in 06, 07, but to watch their careers. But outside of that, the Rough Riders. Yes. My favorite team with the USFL was the Washington Federals. I love their ugly colors, but, of course they sucked and folded really quickly. But let's take a quick look at MLB real quick while we're talking a little bit of sports.
Let's do that.
All right. Well, JT, you tell us about the Great American League, because it looks like your team is actually not in the cellar for once again.
I know, and it's still June. Look, everybody's got their date. They always say, I don't care about football before X milestone. Some people say before June. Some people say for Independence Day. If you don't know which day Independence Day is, get out of that communist country and get in America. And then some people say, I don't care until August. So you want to look here and see that there is hot competition for number one overall in the league. You've got in the AL East, the Yankees with 37 wins, unfortunately. In the West, you have the Mariners with 32. So they're chasing pretty badly. In the AL South, or not the AL South, sorry, AL Central, you have the Detroit Tigers with 40 wins. So they're leading the AL right now by, I think, a three-game margin.
Mm-hmm.
So look, it's not that much, but
the most important thing in the division, there's 7 games up on Cleveland or Minnesota.
8 games, 8 games, right?
Well, 7, and the standings says 7. I know.
I've
blown it up as much as I can.
Yeah, 7 games back. You're right.
Yeah,
okay.
But yeah, 98 run differential though, which is second in the American League. Just behind the Yankees.
Simply, Steve, I've been up since 2:30 in the morning, so I said it at the beginning. If I'm slurring or making mental errors,
you got a boo for Phantom Outsider too for this.
Well, that one, I'm not going to recant. But no,
well, Detroit has been bad
AL
though.
South. I wonder what teams play in the AL.
Well, I tell you what, though, the thing that I noticed is that even though I have not followed baseball very closely the last few years, I've at least seen enough to know Detroit has really sucked in recent years.
Yes, they have.
But
Couldn't find a pitcher to save their lives.
This is an amazing turnaround. What happened with this team?
They finally got the farm system under control and got trading right and got decent people in everywhere. It helps that you also play the White Sox.
18-42 Chicago White Sox, yes.
Yeah.
21 and a half games back already. This time of year before the July 4th trading deadline or All-Star, whatever the trading deadline is, you'd start to fire sell your roster.
Right. Also, there was one other thing I was thinking. Cabrera was on the books for a long time, Miguel Cabrera, because he was chasing some records for how many hits he had and all this, and he retired in October 23. So, he obviously was taking up a slot in some room in the on the roster for salary too, and you don't recover from having to jettison that overnight. So that is another factor. Not saying that he was a bad guy or anything, but he wanted a $30 million contract for 2024, and the Tigers said no.
Hey, they're good for one franchise to finally say no to that,
Right. So,
Detroit got Skubal. He's really good.
Yes, that too.
Is that the pitcher or is he a position player?
Skubal. I'm trying to remember if that's even how you spell it.
Hey, Sashi. Yay, sports.
Skubal.
Yay, sports. I'm going to head back to work now. Sashi, stay with us on Tuesday nights and stuff at some point down the road. We may even talk about cricket or other international competitions like your foot volleyball. Sashi introduced us. I can't remember the name of it, but it's basically playing volleyball with your feet.
Yep.
Hey, we're willing to try different things. Good to see you, Sashi.
He actually had some fun stuff. He was drafted 9th round in 2018 in the draft, and he played at the West Michigan Whitecaps in Grand Rapids. So that's fun. I've seen them. That is a serious minor league team as well. Right. But he had the 2024 Cy Young Award, Triple Crown, stuff like that. So I'm trying to find the most current stats for him this year, but he is a pitcher.
Okay.
So,
well, speaking of pitchers, though, Simply Steve that brings up the Rangers. Every time I see the Rangers, you know who I think of? Nolan Ryan. I just think of Nolan Ryan. I think the time he kicked Robin Ventura's ass on the mound. You remember that video, JT?
Which one?
Robin. When Robin Ventura charged, I do. Yes. Mm-hmm. And Ventura just ran into the headlock, like, "Here, punch me." Every time I think of the Rangers, I think of Nolan Ryan and that, one of the toughest, greatest pitchers of all time, and that's the thing that's one of the problems I have with baseball, college and in the NFL is that college and the MLB is that these guys used to be Iron Men. They used to throw 200, 300 innings. They used to win 20 games. There was not this 6-inning bullshit and this 100-pitch count crap. They actually friggin' threw the damn ball, and these guys got paid nothing compared to these bastards now. They get these millions of dollars, and then they're on pitch counts and all. And I tell you, I really still think the biggest problem with that is that having to nurse these players like they do.
Yeah.
I believe what has happened in our society was introducing kids to sports way too early, way too often. Yeah. When I grew up, you had off seasons. You truly had one sport, you had an off season, maybe two sports, but there were times. These kids don't have any ability or time to rest their bodies anymore. That's why we had training camp in the NFL and all these other sports, was they went out and just relaxed, and then they came back and got in shape to play. Nowadays, it's
learns the theory of the sport, tactics, why plays are doing things, get the drill drill the
now it's
playbook
just
into
so
your head.
mechanical.
Yeah.
And these kids from an early age do not allow their body have a chance to let their bodies rest. Because
yeah,
I mean,
well, that would happen when
how do
I
you
was a
explain
kid in the
how?
90s too, and a lot of sports injuries would happen from fatigue,
Yeah.
right? Like you'd be scared because you're playing baseball, soccer, basketball, traveling in those sports. You're going to get hurt.
And
You
you don't
will.
play just on school teams now. You got all these damn travel teams and all these teams going out and fundraising, all this stuff. And how many of them make it to the major leagues? So few. I mean, they're great memories and stuff like that. But I tell you, I'm glad my kids did not play sports like that. I mean, I love my sports, but I could not imagine having to run everywhere, spending so much money just to be on the road all the time. I mean, and then they get hurt and everything. Because I really believe that's why we do not have the pictures that we used to have, is because of the amount that they play from an early age. I was reading a stat with Greg Maddux that Greg Maddux only had like 300 batters in all of his career that he went to a 3-0 count, and over half of them were because it was an intentional walk. You know, we're not going to see players like that. We're not going to see Nolan Ryans. We're not going to see these guys anymore because they're soft now when you talk about it. And I don't mean soft in a bad way. And it's just that the body can only take so much before it will break down to anybody. I mean, the great thing with Nolan Ryan was he was like over 40 when he retired. You know, I mean, you know, those days are gone. These players are getting hurt and retiring much earlier than ever before.
Right.
Yeah. Steve says coddling the players now, giving speed stats of a ball coming off bats after. Yeah, there's so damn many stats. Even I love my stats, but it's like, give it a friggin' break. So, but yeah,
I knew Scooble was good. Going back to that pitcher for the Tigers, he has a 4-seam and a 2-seam fastball that go up to 103 miles an hour.
Yeah.
He can get a slider to 96 miles an hour.
Wow. That's a hell of a
change
slider.
up at 86. Wow. Yeah.
So, by the way, yes, I agree about soccer. There's too many different tournaments. I can't keep it. Like JT said.
I was trying to explain FC Bayern Munich, European football, Sashi, and it was like, okay, well, they're in this league in the Bundesliga, but then they're also in the Champions League, but then they'll also maybe have the players play in the Euro Cup, and then they'll also have Olympic qualifying rounds for some of these players, but then sometimes they just play friendly matches, but then other times they're playing, you know, this other team here in a round of 8 on this side, and it's like, okay, Dadman's head is just spinning because he's
what the hell is the use of a friendly match? It's an exhibition. But anyway.
Yeah. So, you know, these players, it's like, I don't even know if they ever have more than 2 days off for as long as they can actually play the sport, which just means they could probably all run marathons because they're all just running, you know, 10 miles every single day. But it's definitely a sport for the young. There are very few players in European football, soccer that live to be like 30, 35 and still play the sport. I mean, that tells you something about how much stamina it takes to just run around after a ball all the time. I mean, you get football players that are in their 40s that can still play, and that sport is how violent. It's a quick burnout. And then, you know, they have all those infamous stereotypes about footballers that have to blow all their money on a Bentley and then they're broke, you know, because they spent it all as soon as they got it.
Yeah. See, I agree with Phantom because I remember seeing King Griffey Jr. come through town. He and Alex Rodriguez. I remember they didn't even last a season in the minor league. They got up very quickly at very young ages, but that's the exception to the rule, you know. Generally, it's like these players don't come up very quickly, and then you know, like you said, in that case, imagine if Mike Judge was up 3 years earlier, what his numbers would be like. And yes, I like unfriendly play, like the South American soccer. Sorry, and Phantom says the last older soccer was Pele.
Yeah.
Beckman got pretty old, though.
Maybe. I would also
Beckham
think.
got pretty old. But
yeah, and Schweinsteiger, who played for FC Bayern Munich as a
sorry,
midfielder.
JT, I'm so sorry. This one got me with Sashi. You know what, Sashi?
Yeah.
That is not only that pisses me off. It's affected college basketball, NBA basketball. Talk about floppers. They're actually in the SEC and the college football, they're actually watching Old Piss specifically for falling on the ground, getting the injury timeouts. We got in college basketball where they will start calling fouls and stuff because if they call them catching them flopping, because that's how bad that dramatic stuff in soccer started. Everybody's starting to do it in all these other sports. Doesn't that piss you off, JT?
It does, but that's because LeBron's a little bitch. You heard me say it. I'm not going to take it back. He can come over here and disagree.
Yeah,
but
but Spinner Outsider got me though. Aaron Judge, I'm sorry. That's how out of baseball I am. Yes, I love Beavis and Butthead. So, oh God, yeah, lots of yellow and red cards. Okay, JT, I'm sorry I cut you off about the older players.
Oh yeah, no, I was going to say there's Schweinsteiger that played for FC Bayern Munich. 19 played for them for 17 seasons. I mean, he's only 40 now, but 17 seasons is a long ass time.
I know.
In soccer.
See, I wish Jordan had never retired the first time with his experiment for baseball, which I did get to see him a game down here. I did get to see him. He got one at bat. It was a very weak at bat, but you could say you saw him, but I'm a big believer in this. Jordan is the GOAT because he didn't have to talk about himself and everything else.
Yep, 100%.
He did it all. He left on the floor. My God, could you imagine these guys nowadays in the old days with him and the Pistons? Liam Beer, Thomas, Rodman, Larry Bird, who was apparently won the Larry Bird, who everybody, but Larry Bird apparently was one of the trash talking players around ever.
It was a different game back then too. You have to remember, like, you would actually get called for, being in the paint for longer than the number of seconds you were allowed to be in the paint for. Now, I mean, by the time Shaq retired, he could just stand in there permanently the whole game and never have to leave, and no one would ever call him. They used to call traveling back in the day. They don't do that anymore. The other thing is players now just shoot a million more threes and make them. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, you wouldn't even have to get physical on like a 1980s Pistons, early 90s Pistons, because you would just outscore them so much faster.
Absolutely.
The only thing is then you'd have to say, well, those 80s, 90s Pistons Bulls would just be able to beat the hell out of everybody because the refs don't actually call anything anymore. So it would be very interesting, but I think the modern day teams would just annihilate them, unfortunately. Because it's a different style of play in the game. I don't think it's a better style of play for the game.
I don't think so either. That's why I like college basketball. College basketball is still, it's trending towards the NBA, but it's still about screens, picks. I love watching the Florida Gators. That was old school, run the court, pick. That's why I love college basketball so much better. It's not just run down and jack up the three.
Right.
Steve said the Bulls could have had 3 more titles had he not left to play minor league baseball. I will always say one of my best memories of any sports was in '98 when my dad passed away. We were in the hospital, the NBA Finals, and that shot that Jordan hit against the Jazz, to that classic shot where he hits it and he fist pumps in the air. I was there with my dad when that happened.
Wow.
That's the last game my dad and I ever watched together, and just memories like that. Bose Jackson. It's such a sad thing that he blew out his hip the way he did. Yeah. Old sword Jim Thorpe. And of course they moved the 3-point line closer. Exactly. It's not the same game. Well, what we know it is. So that's why I don't care to talk about NBA. But JT, if the Pistons ever do anything, we can definitely do it. Oh, thank you. You're awesome.
I'm not holding out for that. I mean, they quote unquote made the playoffs this year, but that's when half the league makes the playoffs.
Right.
Who gives the rat's ass.
See, that's like with Major League Baseball with all these expanded playoffs and the Men's College World Series, which we have not even gotten around to tonight, which I was going to talk about some, that next week we will, especially if the Beavers advance next week. By the way, tomorrow starts Texas and Texas Tech in the women's college softball. If you do not watch women's softball, do try it. It is exciting. It is a fun game to watch. But let me hit something real quick because we forgot to get to the National League already.
Oh, we did, didn't we?
Yes, we're squirrel streaming in sports. My big thing is the frigging Chicago Cubs are actually tied with the Mets for the best record in the National League. What has happened? 102
your Cubbies
run difference. Yeah. I've got to get to watching them. I just got to have time.
The thing about this is the Tigers had 40 wins, and I think the Yankees had 37. So 37 would put you a half a game back, or a game back on the Mets, which is just funny. But that is tremendous baseball in New York.
Yeah.
You have two teams and have that high caliber of baseball right now. I mean, it's truly a treat if you get out there and see it.
Especially if you're a fan. 24-7 at home, and the Yankees are 19-9. I mean, they're winning at home.
Yeah,
that's not the worst. Like if you're a New Jersey Devil hockey fan, you hate when they play at home because they lose more than when they on the road. They actually win better on the road. So,
right.
But like the Cubs here, we got. Okay, go ahead, JT. Sorry.
Well, I was actually going to say that. So go ahead. Go for it.
We got the Cubs. I mean, and our friend Whoopa Troopa's Cardinals are only 4.5 back. So we got two teams that have been down in recent years that are now seeming to stabilize, which of course to me is I've got to get familiar with this Cubs roster because I think
the NL Central is going to have a lot of shakeup the next few weeks.
What do you mean?
Those teams are all too close.
Yep.
I think Cincinnati might move into third. I think Milwaukee might move into second, and Chicago will probably lose. They're 8-2 in the last 10. I think they're probably going to lose a couple. And it's going to be like a 2-game back by the time you get into the 4th of July.
No.
So,
hey, if you're a Cub fan, you got to be happy you're anywhere near the top. This late in the season.
I heard the pitchforks out were in Pittsburgh too.
Oh God, yeah, the classic. I mean, they always seem to have potential, and then they go backwards. It's just, I mean, it's another one of those teams that's a classic losers. You know, I mean, I'm amazed the friggin' Marlins are 23-36, though. Honestly. With their home crowd like that, that's like 5,800 people. But look how bad the Rockies are. 11-50, 25 and a half games out.
They're the third fastest losing team in MLB history.
6-22.
They're the third fastest to 50 losses.
Holy cow. Do you see the run differential? They have been outscored 182 runs.
Yes. Which means their pitchers just give up after whatever inning it is, and they have no one else to put in there.
Wow.
That's what that says, right? Like you would pull your bad pitchers and play somebody on short rest if you could actually win a game. And they're like, just no.
Well, we see the Dodgers are back in their usual standings up at the top. You know, of course, the Mets have been good in recent years. Phillies are right on their heels. So, I hate the Atlanta Braves. I've always hated the Braves. Everybody around here loves them. Wes Cagle, hell to you. How are you tonight? Good to see you, Wes Cagle. As always, enjoy me and Wes Cagle and the missus. We're going to be tomorrow night at 10 o'clock. We've got we're going to have a squirrel stream tomorrow night. I'm looking forward to it. So Pittsburgh has Paul Skeens. The guy is really good. I've heard about Skeens, even though I've not been much into baseball. That name does ring a bell with me. So poor Rockies. But actually, let's see real quick. Oh God, they're that bad.
Yes.
I mean, Chicago's 18-42. The Athletics are 23-38, 11 wins in 61 games.
Yeah, 50 losses. 50 by the time you get to June. 50.
We're the 3rd of June.
Yeah. 50.
Wow.
I mean,
You might as well just close up shop, give everybody their check, and then just get and default everybody that plays them for the rest of the year to an automatic win.
Oh, forfeit all your games. Yeah, I don't know if they could do that for TV reasons, but you would probably sell more seats if you just had a concert series on the field instead.
Oh, wait a second. Hold on a second. I'm sorry. I got tripped up over that the Marlins played at home tonight. I think we already looked at that crowd. So
I thought you were coughing over the fact that Phantom said that the Rockies beat the Yankees recently.
Whoa, really? Oh, by the way, there's a big turnout in Miami tonight on Tuesday. Last night they had 5,800. Tonight they had 7,583 fans in Miami.
Wow.
Tanking games is illegal only if they catch you doing it on purpose. Plausible deniability.
Right.
It depends what the word is.
If they start tanking those games, how would you even know? They're 11-50.
Yeah, I mean, it's we've seen it in NBA and other stuff with these damn lotteries. See, that's another thing with sports. They implement all these damn rules to stop things or whatever, and all it does, it doesn't change a damn thing. I mean, the damn NBA lottery is a bullshit thing because people still tank. They're dragging out and losing to get board shots for the lottery.
The Pistons have never had a favorable.
Yeah, it's bullshit.
Favorable, whatever you want to call that, because it's not a lotto. It's like a contrived, predetermined thing. You can't tell me that that's on the up and up.
This whole pitch clock and bullshit in Major League Baseball, all this crap to speed games along, it's nothing but a bunch of garbage.
We were talking about that the other day. I said, okay, it's been a slow decline in an aging population of fans for the MLB, right? I think the average age is like 58 for the MLB, and it's like 27 or something like that for the NBA, in just a massive gulf. And so your fans are dying off. They're moving out of the key demo, which hurts your advertising potential on TV, which means less money in your TV deal. How do you get the game in front of a younger audience? Well, one of the complaints is it's too slow. It takes too long. Maybe I'm not old enough to buy alcohol, or I can't afford a ticket and alcohol to kind of make it a hangout session. So we're going to speed up the game because these major league players take way too damn long letting a whole 12 track album play when they get up to the plate. We're going to put this shot clock in. Well, the only thing is, no one my age or below, no one under 40 is like, oh my gosh, there's a pitch clock now. That doesn't impress.
Extra innings, put the runner on second. I mean, screw you guys. I like an 18-inning game because I get 2 games for the price of 1 in here. We got 15 freaking people here. You guys rock out there. Thank y'all.
We didn't even put it out there. This is like a surprise stream for
I put a tweet about half an hour ago, but Corey Cochran's here. Hey,
Corey.
Good to see you, man.
A lot of faces I haven't seen in a bit, so this is great.
JT went abandoning me. No, I'm just kidding. No, we talked about that earlier. It's been a crazy few months, and I got busy on Tuesday nights with Mom, and which was wonderful. Those memories with her watching the Gators. She looked at me. She kept looking at me like, "Why are you making me watch basketball?
Did you want to talk the AD or the president issue or the president issue at Florida? Or is that too political?
No, I'll stay off that one. I mean,
okay.
But yeah. Oh, by the way, it's Colorado got their 11th win tonight against the Marlins. So, but yeah, we're catching up. Tonight's been a hodgepodge of stuff, but we got plans for sports down the road, especially in the fall.
What I was saying though is the pitch clock does not excite anyone.
It
might have fixed a problem with a slow game.
Yeah,
but it doesn't. It's not an attraction for anyone.
I've noticed that in college ball specifically, and then you have those slow pitchers that take the full thing. They can still throw over. There are still things that can be done that drags it out. I think the problem is they don't just, like I said, the banana ball stuff. They just throw the ball at them. I mean, these pitchers spend so many times sitting around the plate, kids in the edges instead of just going after the hitter. Sometimes it drags the game out, and then you got walks which drag it out. We've talked about that. We've talked about so many other changes that they've done to these games to speed it up. They're affecting the play, the competitive play, and they're affecting how the game is played. Period.
Right.
We see it in football and so many others, and it just, of course, now in college football and college sports, we've got the NIL, and we're seeing the hell that that's causing, not just in football, but it's starting in basketball.
My great Gators,
yep. My great Gators. You would have thought one son of a bitch would have stayed with the team. No, he left.
Yep.
I mean, one of the good guys, the guy that hit he had a big game down the stretch in that last game against Houston. And he was in on the floor at the last moment. But now they got all these other guys coming in. I'm going to follow my team, but damn it, I like to have loyalty. I like to have some faces from one year to the next, And then you got one guy that Condon guy, or we call Condom.
Yeah.
He's thinking of going to the NBA. He's putting his name out there for exposure to it.
With the right to go back. All the best.
I'm just like, dude, you got to. He looked great all year. When he struggled was after Norfolk State, because every team that was competitive, UConn, Texas Tech, Houston, they made him look bad at times. And Auburn, who they played this year, that made him look bad at times. But hey, he's a good kid. I love it. I'm glad he's on my team, and we'll take him. Sometimes players, I guess it's never a problem to test the market, but you also know, you need to come back to school, some school, to keep getting some work in. Before we wrap up, JT, because I know we're on an hour 46 minutes for an impromptu stream tonight, JT.
Oh, geez, I did not anticipate that.
Well, we could go to 2:30 if you want and try to keep you up 24 hours.
Oh no.
Yeah. No. See,
we're gonna start saying Happy New Year in some of these time zones if you do that.
Exactly. And Steve, we're going to get into stuff like this as we go. Probably as we get closer to the football season, we'll probably spend some time talking more specifically about when we have the time already, but we'll update it from where things have changed since last year, and talking about super conferences and the cross-country travel, the NIL, the transfer portal, and the timing of it. It's just it's all affecting the game, and not necessarily in good ways either. So look at Tennessee's situation. Quarterback Nico, they lived and died with that guy, and then look what happened. They played holdout this year, and they told him to go pound sand. Now he's at UCLA. And see, here's the problem I don't like with this system also. I have had nothing but respect for Josh Heupel. I have. But, I'm getting damn tired of these damn freaking head coaches not having some damn loyalty to some of your friggin' recruits. Because they had some freshman quarterbacks. Yeah, it's going to be hard next year. Whatever. But you know what? Give them the friggin' chance to earn the God-blessed freaking ass job. Quit going out to transfer portal and bringing all these idiots in. Just
these bums that more than half the time, don't even work out.
Yeah. Or next year, they'll dump your ass if they get a better job offer somewhere else.
Right.
I mean, why are we even recruiting freshman quarterbacks anymore?
Like the cheater, liar, pants on fire, Jim Harbaugh doing that every single year, a different quarterback.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. It's because I think Tennessee screwed up with that. They should not, and they went out and got a quarterback that I don't think is that good. But everybody acts like just because you have experience doesn't make you worth a damn. I mean, there have been some Gator quarterbacks that have experience, but they sucked.
Right?
And it just like, I mean, I guess Florida's got Harrison Bailey, the guy that left Tennessee a couple years ago before Nico, that caused a lot of drama up there. Now he's a backup on the Gators roster, and I'm like, what the hell are we wasting time and money on him? I mean, if you saw him at Tennessee and learned what you're like, why are we getting this Twinkie in there? It's like he was soft and stuff. I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's well, like last year also. They didn't play into the backup quarterbacks. They let Nico go the whole year. How many times did I tell you watching Tennessee's games, Nico should have been benched?
Oh, for almost every week.
Exactly.
Almost every week.
Now, whether the senior that was not so good, or maybe your younger freshman that was sitting on the bench to redshirt, you use that redshirt or play him a couple games and get him some. Sometimes you got to still send that damn message. I don't care who the quarterback is, what you're paying him, send him the damn message. And I think that with the damn Dallas Cowboys too, Dak Prescott needs to sit on the bench quite often.
I think they're afraid of benching those players because they don't want to be known as the coach that'll bench you. And players don't want to do that, right? Well, Simply Steve, it is technically later. 10 seconds later, but it was technically later.
It's like our goodbyes, that take forever. Sorry. I've got on a rampage, and I'm feeling good tonight.
Well, we haven't done sport in how long? So,
but see, I tell you what, that's the beauty that when I do something like that, I'm good. I'm happy. I mean, that's a good sign that we went into this. It's just, but yeah, just so many things pop up in your head, and you're like, I mean, at this point, we're like Hungry would say, we're 9 minutes away from 2 hours. We might as well go 2 hours, But JT, what have you got coming up these days? Anything
tomorrow
that you want to
talk about? Tomorrow I will be on Dave C's channel at 9 p.m. Eastern time.
We will be. Hold on. Sorry. Wait. Sorry. I am so sorry, Oliver. I hope you're still here. We got to hit this one though. Oliver asks, I am so sorry, Oliver. I hope you're still out there. I just went on a one-track mind. I forgot to see the star. Mr. Dadman, who was your favorite Hollywood action hero? Steven Seagal, Chuck Norris, Arnold Schwarzenegger, Bruce Willis, Jean-Claude Van Damme, Sylvester Stallone, Mel Gibson, or Harrison Ford? Ooh. Well, I think it depends on some of the roles. There are times I like Steven Seagal, of course. Chuck Norris can't be defeated. I'll be honest. I think Bruce Willis. I mean, Yippee-Ki-Yay, Mother Humper, and he got into so many good roles. I mean, Schwarzenegger just was a spoof sometimes with certain things, and he fit in some roles, but Chuck Norris was too, I think, carbon copy, too hokey type of roles also. I've not seen enough of Jean-Claude Van Damme to really be fair. Sylvester Stallone, I've seen enough. Gibson and Ford, I don't even consider an action hero anymore. I mean,
right.
He's just grandpa out to pasture, especially when he ditched Han Solo. But I would say Bruce Willis by far because of the number of roles he's done. And he did so many different type of action films. What about you, JT?
Sure. So let's see. Could you go back to the list? Sorry.
Oh, sorry about that. Oh, yeah, it's in the start. Okay. Wait, shoot. And I ain't started. Give me a second. I'll find it, but I'll get you to the list.
I got it. Okay.
Number
3 was Stallone.
Okay.
I like Rambo, and I like the boxing as well. So number 2 off that list, I would say, is Arnold. I think he did have some big iconic pieces that defined that era of cinema. And then number 1, I would go with Mel Gibson.
Okay.
Because he tends to do some of the more, I don't want to say like historically accurate, but more like he'll take a historical event and go for it more on some of that. I appreciate that. Okay. But he also
Patriot,
some of that violence.
Patriot,
yeah,
Braveheart.
Patriot. Yep. Patriot was what I was thinking for sure.
Yep.
The other thing is Steven Seagal is not going to be on my list because he chose to back some bad folks in another country. So he's kind of, I won't watch his movies anymore. So
yeah,
that's just me.
Simply Steve would take Bruce Willis also. Phantom said Willis was the everyman. He never got shredded like most of the others. All right, so we got 4 minutes closer to that 2 hour mark. So JT, what about you?
Yeah. tomorrow at 9 p.m. Eastern, I will be on Dave C's channel, covering issue number 3 of the mid 1970s DC comic, The Joker, which is the Joker's first out on his own comic run. Some fantastic art, some really just hilarious humor in that comic run. Dave and I are having a blast doing that, much more so than what we did with Black Panther or let's see, the Battlestar Galacticas that we went through. So this is our most fun one yet. Glad we hopped over to DC for a while. So hope to see you all there if you're not hanging out here tomorrow. So then on Saturday night at 10 to 10 p.m. Eastern, I'll be with the great Admiral Teague and Sean Carter on Saving Star Trek. And we are in season 3 of Star Trek Enterprise.
And then at the end of it, y'all do the watch party. Then you end up talking about general stuff after that, right?
It's darn near a squirrel. Yeah. I mean, yeah. We try to stick to sci-fi, but every once in a while, it could drift to Rachel Zegler or
that's okay. That's cool.
Something else.
That's always cool. There's Dave C's link. There's Wes Cagel's link. West, if you don't mind, give me Figgy or Legatus. If one of y'all can get Figgy's link back in for me, I'd appreciate it. But there, like I said, there's Teague's link. There's Dave C's link.
Thank you.
And Oliver said, Stallone's Rocky and Rambo and Schwarzenegger's T-800 and Conan are favorite action hero rules for me. I love Stallone as Rocky, though. I do. I never got into Rambo, though. I never, maybe I was just too young then, and it's never been a role. T-800, I think that's Terminator, right?
Yes.
So I tell you, Schwarzenegger, one that I did like him in, as hokey as he is, was Running Man.
Yeah,
because I think he's so off, or so not off. Just he's so
like a miscast.
Yeah,
role.
he's just so punny or something that you can believe. I don't do requests and stuff like that. But I love that movie with Richard Dawson in it. That was one of my favorite movies of all time. But
I'd rather watch Running Man than watch The Fifth Element 100 more times.
Oh, come on. You don't like my meme? Captain, the Berg. You don't like that? I thought of you just with that particular thing. So, yeah. So, all right. Make sure you go to all these great people. Let's get Figgy also to 200. Teague's out there. Dave C. with JT will be there tomorrow night.
What about you, Dan, man? Where are you going to be?
Well, honestly, Arnold was Turbo Man. No, it's Turbo time. I know. Keep giving my wife hell. That's a great movie. Christmas. Cobra. Oh, Cobra. That's one I need to see. I tell you, that's a movie I need to watch since I'm older now. I think I'd appreciate it more, especially the way he comes in shooting and stuff. And the only problem is the Brigitte Nielsen ruined that movie for me, because I think I still had her so associated with living with Rocky IV that I'm like, anyway. But then again, ladies with short haircuts like that scared me, like Annie Lennox from Eurythmics. So,
oh yeah,
it's a thing. It's a thing. Oh, come on! Who's not a fan of Ruby Rhod?
No, I am not. Not at all.
On.
Not at all, Phantom.
The Borg. We're gonna die.
Dad, man.
What? Hey, I didn't say anything bad about Khan, okay?
but I absolutely cannot stand Ruby Rhod.
Okay. Who do you stand? Can you stand the least between Ruby Rhod or Wesley Crusher? Take your Star Trek and put either one of them in that instant role. Jeez. Oh, I am so glad you asked.
See, I'll go with Wesley because they at least tell him to shut up a bunch of times.
Mm-hmm.
No one ever tells Ruby Rhod to shut up.
Oh, guys, Bruce Willis did.
Well, yeah, he did, but
I gotta find this. I'm trying to find this because Legatus is asking who Ruby Rhod is. I have got to. Here we go.
You know what I think? I damn well think they know
Oh,
who
it's
it
a
is.
blank template.
They just want you to bring that person on the screen.
That's okay. That's okay. I can do that real quick. It's actually a blank template. You can actually that scene that I shared.
Yeah.
I can't find it right now, but so I'll spare you the Star Trek one. But if you don't know, God, I always want to find that one again, but I don't have it right here. Let's see. But you know what I can do? Here we go. Let's see if we bring it up here and crap. All right. We will show it right here. He's the blonde right up front here. Eee. This is apparently a blank template. You can create your own memes from it. That's Ruby Rod from The Fifth Element up here. So that's Ruby Rod. Okay, so again, I'm sorry, I got too busy trying to find this. So who do you stand? Okay, so you say that you would stand. You could actually deal with Wesley Crusher because they tell him to shut up, right?
Yep.
Wow.
Yep.
See, I know how to make Star Trek fans actually appreciate Wesley. Oh God, Corey's like.
Well, I wouldn't say appreciate, just
Corey's
recognize.
Like, no. Do you see this? No. What did I do to you, Dad, man? Sorry. Oh, Wesley Rod. Oh, if somebody more. Wow. Okay.
That's an AI nightmare.
Oh, gosh. Wes Cagle said JT would rather watch Darth Maul than Maul lives. Oh, Phantom says Wesley sucks way more.
I think so.
Yeah. Oh, Corey thinks he's the worst part of Fifth Element. Okay. All right.
I would have to agree.
Yeah. Oh, it's too funny. All right. So you see Wesley way more than Ruby. Yeah. Ruby only pops out from time to time for various things. So, all right. On that wonderful high note, JT will probably talk to me later, but hey, it's all good. It's been a fun 2 hours for a completely unplanned stream, and it's been fun, JT. It flew
It
by
has.
way too
I'm glad
fast.
we got to do it.
Absolutely. And guys, we're going to try to do more on Tuesdays as we can. Like I said, for people that are coming late, we have not streamed in months. No, I'm not, Steve. That's a different thing. But between Tuesday nights with my mom watching basketball and life commitments and both of our work and stuff, we just have not been able to make things happen on Tuesday night. We are planning to try to get back into it as we can, talking about different sports and things, and then with bigger plans to doing a different type of football show that I do in the fall than what I've done in previous year. So thank y'all for coming in, supporting us tonight. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you get the word out. Subscribe to our channel. Also subscribe to the Myth. Hey, somebody put the Mrs. Chat in there. I'm sitting here. Damn it. I mean, I did a stream and I shouted out everybody else but my wife.
Just say you're going to be sleeping on the couch if you.
Who, by the way, you need to go subscribe if you have not. Yes, exactly, Wes Cagle. Please put that out there for me. Thank you so much. 10 a.m. tomorrow morning. Join her for your daily dose of positivity. She's incredible. I love hearing her make herself laugh uncontrollably. But hey, make sure you go subscribe to her build, her build streams and her Fortnite streams and everything. And she is monetized, and please go support and with your time, attendance, and we appreciate all that y'all do for us. Y'all mean a lot to all of us and this time together. On that note, everybody, y'all have a wonderful evening. We will catch you. I will see you tomorrow. The missus will be live at 10 in the morning. I will be live tomorrow night at 10 p.m. Eastern with at least Wes Cagle, and we'll see who else is with us tomorrow night. And come prepared to have some fun and laughs with us. Thank y'all. Have a good night. Bye, all. Shit. No, shoot. Nope. Stop.
What now?
I hit leave studio instead of cancel the stream. It was almost you by yourself. Then I'd have to come back in.
Oh, that would have been fun.
Now, hey, people boomer in the beginning. I love Boomerang the ending. By the way, good night on baseball, Legatus. Take care.
Wow.